Alright, good morning, YouTube. I kind of wanted to record this before I forgot because I just woke up, and I'm gonna call this "There's a Human Being Standing right in front of you." I had a situation that happened earlier today. I didn't think that it really affected me that much at all until I just woke up, like 2 minutes ago, literally, and I had this diatribe, that just kind of came to my mind, and it was just I was half in the sleep and half out of sleep, and the thoughts were, there's a human being standing right in front of you, and there were some other things associated with that. What happened was yesterday I had a very busy day. I cleaned out both of my refrigerators. I decided to repot my plant. I planted for the first time in a very long time. I seriously took a chance to try to plant some a home garden, and I did some lettuce, some cucumbers, some radish, and some bell peppers. And I just had a really busy day. And I ended up going back to Family Dollar and picking up, well, attempting to pick up, some of the final things that I needed to finish up the cleaning up of my home, some Windex and, lamps and stuff like that. Just so odd. I didn't really, like I said, I really didn't think it affected me until 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm waking up, and obviously I must have had a dream or something, because that was like the first thought that came to my mind before I wasn't even really awake yet. It's the weirdest thing. But I went into the store, took my time to purchase these items. I went over to the secondary counter. There was no one there, so that I could count out my change, because I was trying to get rid of, I had like this big container full of change, and I was trying to get rid of it. So I figured I'd go over there, count it all out. Once I have it counted all out, I'd go to the other side and make my purchases. So as I was standing there, there's a man that works there. I didn't know who he was, but I guess he's the, I just kind of put together today that he may be the manager. But I've had some really odd, not even interactions, but just experiences. Like when I go in, it's like just odd, And I've blogged about it before, and I just haven't been back in forever because it's just really odd. But I know that when I go, if I see him there, I intentionally go the opposite direction because it's just weird. I just try to get in and get my stuff and get out. So what ended up happening, I stood there, counted my change, and I was there a long time because I wanted to get rid of all the small stuff first. So I was counting out the pennies and the dimes, and so as I was doing that, I felt him come over to where I was, and he kind of stood over my shoulder and kind of watched me, and then just to see what I was doing, I guess, and then he went away. But I didn't make eye contact with him because I wanted to avoid like any type of contact with him at all. And so the next thing I know, he's saying, okay, he's gonna open line two, and next person in line on line two, and I'm like, great, I'm right here. I have all my stuff, and you know, I was like, well, since he opened the line, I'll just take it with cash. And the line on the first register was long. There was like 10 people there. I was, like I said, already at the second register, and then I was standing right there. He was like, ma'am, you're next. Talking to somebody on the other line. But nobody moved. Everybody, was standing in that line. They didn't want to move, and I was there, and I was ready. There's a human being standing right here. And, so the guy that came to the register was starting ringing me up. He was like, no, don't ring her up. She's not next. He said, tell the person in the other line, okay, come over. Nobody moved. Nobody moved because they were where they were. They didn't want to move. And so I was like, well, here, I'm ready. Go ahead and, you know, let's go. Let's go. And the man was adamant that this man was not going to ring me up. There was nobody behind me. Nobody was moving from the other line to this line. Nobody had the desire to. They all looked like they were tired and just ready to go. So after a while of all that, the man continuously was trying to solicit people to go to the other line. Finally, this lady was just like, okay, well, I'll go, you know. And I asked her, I said, do you mind if I go ahead and purchase, you know, my items since I'm right here? And she was like, no, go ahead. Then the man made a big deal about it again, you know. And I was like, but the lady said she didn't mind. He was like, but I do, you know. And I was like, okay. And then I was just like, oh my gosh, you know. And I was like, he's so annoying. And then he was just like, don't bring her up at all. And I was like, why? Because I said that you're annoying, you know. And so, you know, the cashier really didn't know what to do. And I was like, you know, just to kind of set, you know, the mold for him, I went ahead and, like, you know, started gathering my, you know, change together because I was going to pay with cash, and while he was ringing up, I was going to pick up my change. But I went ahead and started gathering my change together because I really, you know, didn't want to see her or anything. Then the Spanish man got behind me, and he was just like, what's wrong with you, man? You know, there's a female, let her go, you know. And then the guy with the dreads, kind of real scruffy looking, kind of dirty looking, maybe about five short, 5'4", 5'5", really long unkept dreads. He yelled out to him, "This is between me and her, man. This is between me and her." And I was like, "Wait a minute, no, it's not." And you know, I was like, "This is, you know, this is all you. You know, this hasn't nothing to do with me. I'm just trying to get my stuff and get out of here." The Spanish man was just like, "Why? You know, why? You know, why is he acting like that?" And I was like, "You know, I honestly don't have a clue. Just the weirdest experience." So I gathered my stuff as quickly as possible, and I just left. And I was actually feeling pretty good about leaving. So I'm continuing on my way. I'm feeling good because I took the high road. Besides, I needed to get out of the house. Been stuck in the house for so long. Need some exercise because, as y'all can see, I'm fat. And you know, I probably should have walked down the Dollar Tree or whatever. Anyway, sorry y'all, you have to see my under titties or whatever. But to Dollar Tree, and because I was gonna find stuff cheaper down there, Walmart and everything, Big Lots, all of that stuff. So I started walking on my happy way, head held high, just joyous. As I'm walking out of the parking lot, this guy tries to say something to me, but I didn't stop because, you know, a lot of times, and I made a report about this. I only had 10 minutes at a time, so I'm gonna try to make this quick. So as I'm walking along, next thing you know, I'm crossing the street, the major intersection. My shoe breaks. My sandal breaks in the middle of crossing the street. So this is part one. So I'll go on to part two.